Okay guys, well, you want to talk about frustrating? This is going to be my second attempt at this video. I was almost done with it. It wasn't that long of a video, and batteries died. So, yeah, so this has been kind of a rough week for me. I think that, well, I got sick, and it was just a 24-hour bug, but it's kind of like, man, I'm so sick and tired of being sick and tired. And so it's frustrating for me, but I'm moving forward and I'll get it figured out eventually. With that, I've kind of struggled a lot with my eating lately. I think it's just a part of the process. It just seemed about 2-3 weeks ago, all of a sudden I wanted to eat more and I could eat more. And I've kind of had to like pull the reins back and get that under control. I'm doing it quite well, so don't get me wrong. But man, I really struggled. I really didn't think I was going to see any kind of a weight loss this week. I was eating so much, and but I had a friend who I talked to about it, and he just kind of said, "Hey, man, listen. The deal is, your overeating is still less than a normal person eating." I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess you're right. So. And he's right. And so I've got to kind of get it's more of a mental thing than a physical thing. Because, you know, having snacks here and there, it's not the end of the world. I'm not eating full meals per se. So it's kind of like, hey, man, you're kind of grazing, and you're not grazing to an extreme. I've had to get away with some of the saltier stuff. Even wheat thins are something I can't keep in the house. So I eat them until I'm absolutely just ready to throw up. Popcorn, anything like that, it's like I just eat it until it makes me sick. So I'm fighting it. I'm still dealing with some nausea stuff, so I think that, you know, I've been drinking some diet ginger ale or whatever, maybe once a day. Usually in the evenings I start to feel a little nauseous. It's something going on, they can't figure it out. So I'm kind of upset about that because I don't really like to have that kind of carbonation. Luckily, the diet stuff is more like the carbonation of a beer, which I can handle that pretty well. And so, I don't know. So weight this week is I don't know. It might end up being a fluke thing. Today is official weigh-in day, and so the only time I ever weigh in during the week that counts is today. But there were some things that have kind of come into the mix. Yesterday when I weighed, I was 213, which would have given me a 2-pound loss for the week, but it would have given me like a 1-pound loss from what I was a couple weeks ago. And so I was 213. I was like, okay, you know, I was thinking, well, I was supposed to go for a run last night. Then I put that off until this morning, and that's what throws everything off. Last night it was barely, it was just teetering between 38 to 40 degrees when I was going to do my night run. I've done night runs the whole time I've been running, and that's just the way it is. Well, I went out and I ran this morning because the temperature actually rose overnight, and I knew it was going to, and I knew I was going to wake up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. It was going to be like 55 degrees out. And so I was like, if I could do an early morning run, it'd be awesome, because I love running in 50-degree temperatures are my favorite. And so running in 50 degrees is just like, I could do it all day long. And so I decided to put off my run from last night to this morning and just do a long run this morning. And I went out, I did 9 miles, and I came back. I don't, when it's 50 degrees, I do what's called like a soaking perspiration. Just like, I just get moist, like kind of wet. But I don't get huge sweat spots on my clothes or anything like that. My body just has this moist, clammy feeling to it. And now when it gets hotter, I will sweat. But I don't really like just drip off me or anything like that. So I knew I was sweating, but I didn't take off that much. And I was drinking fluids the whole time. I had my fuel drink, before my run, and then I brought some with me during my run, so I had about 16 ounces on me when I ran, and I put the goo packs in me, which I still do every 3 miles, and that's that. Well, as I was running and everything, like I was thinking, oh, you know, this putting on a lot of fluid and everything. I came back, and it just, like, I had my recovery drink, which is usually about 20 ounces of I do goo recovery brew, and so I did my recovery drink, and then I came upstairs and I was like, oh crap, I couldn't weigh in this morning because my wife was sleeping, and I didn't want to wake her. Our scale is a talking scale, so I didn't want to weigh, and I was like, oh crap, you know. And so I come up and I'm just like, well, today's weigh-in day. Just take it as, you know, you're probably going to have a couple pounds on you more than, or even more. I shouldn't say a couple pounds. I was going to have at least probably 1 more pound. So then I would have probably never had. So it's no big deal. So I get on the scale and it says 210.8. I'm like, what? It's almost 3 pounds, a full 3 pounds than yesterday. And I'm like, oh man, like it was the opposite. I actually ended up losing some weight, and I'll probably gain it all back tomorrow. So I thought, well, if there's one thing that would put some weight on, is usually after a run, I'll put on a little bit. Like if I run at the gym, or if I'm at the gym working out, like I'll weigh and then I'll go take a shower and I'll put that weight back on in the shower. And I don't know why that is. It's just a freak thing. But so I went and took a shower, came upstairs, and I actually was down that 0.8, and I was back down to 210. And so I'm like, okay, well, you know, that's 5 pound weight loss for the week. So that's 260 pounds total loss from 470. And yeah, weigh 210. So I'm 20 pounds overweight is all I am right now. And so I don't know what to think about it, guys. I really don't. I'm taking it as it is. And I've been kind of fluctuating a little bit back and forth, and I'm just kind of like, you know what, maybe it's just maybe the extra calories I am putting in is kind of helping release some more calories. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Or more fat or whatever. So I don't know. But I'm happy. So if I wake up tomorrow and I'm 212, it's not the end of the world to me. So, in fact, nothing is the end of the world to me anymore. Like, when I hit 220, my goal is to stay under 220. When I hit 210, my goal is now to stay under 210. Like, that's really all it is for me. I just deal with these little 10-pound increments, and I just live in that land. So I'm in 210 land now. Or I'm in a single digit. Well, after today or tomorrow or who knows, like, I'll be in the single digits of 200, and I'll deal with that. Do I think I'm going to make Wonderland? I guess I think at this point it would feel pretty safe in saying I'll probably make Wonderland. Will I make it's not a goal, but once again, my race wheels. I want to get that down to below 190. So 185 would be, if I hit 185, it's jumping Jubilee. I'm no longer overweight. I'm in a normal BMI. I mean, Fatland is done, basically, for me. So now people could still call me fat, but once I'm in a normal BMI, call me fat, I'll punch you in the face. That's basically it, guys. I really don't have a whole scootin' canani to the laddle to talk about other than that. I know that some of you guys seem to be struggling back and forth. You know, I'm praying for you. Like, I'm really sorry. It's a part of the process. You know, the biggest thing I can say is don't play the comparison game. Don't look at the people around you. Don't look at these videos and be like, they're losing 7 or 8 pounds a week and I'm losing this. Everybody's body is different, and everybody's body is going to respond differently to the surgery. And don't freak out. If you think that you're in a stall way too long, then pull back, go back to the basics. Proteins first, lean proteins, get all the extra junk out, and just see if that does anything. If not, just keep pressing forward. So don't freak out. it happens. And trust me, I'm not saying, hey, don't freak out. Like, I know, like, you can go back in my videos, and there's a random video in there where I'm like, late night, like, guys, I just got on the scale and I gained 2.2 pounds. You know, like, we've all been there. It's a part of the process. We freak out over those things, and then 6 months later, we look back and we're like, what was I thinking? You know, and so it's okay. But yeah, but the biggest thing is don't look at other people's comparisons. Don't be like, I got to work out that hard. You know, like, if you're doing kind of the rules or whatever, and you're doing your 30 minutes of workout, or, you know, whatever that may be, and you're eating your proteins and you just feel like you're doing it right, then just don't freak out. You're gonna keep losing weight. You're not done. Just keep pressing forward. So it's okay. But if you start looking at, you know, Bobby Joe Boo Bob and Sally Mae Flandam, and you start saying, well, wait a minute, you know, these two are losing 10 pounds a week and stuff like that, it's like not going to happen. You know, I just saw a video from someone who, I don't think they watch my videos anymore, but anyways, but, you know, they were talking about how they, by the end of the month, they wanted to lose 30 pounds. And I'm like, you know, and they're really far, and they're like over a year out. And I'm like, you're not 580 pounds anymore, buddy. Like, you know, you're in the 200s now. Like, I don't know that you're going to lose 30 pounds in a month, and unless you are like sweating to the oldies 12 hours a day. So, but you know, just don't set realistic goals. If you're like, I want to lose 5 pounds a week, and that doesn't seem realistic, then go, I want to lose 4, lose 3, or whatever. You know, so that you can have wins. Look at your non-scale victories. Those are going to be the big ones, you know. And so for me, there's a day where you hear this little link. You see this right here? This used to be my chair. This was my fat chair. We moved it up to the bedroom, and this is my fat chair. The arms are loose because in the old days when I sat in this thing, I pushed out the arms because I was so fat as sitting in this chair. And now look at me. Like, it's like I'm like all comfy, like sleeping and stuff like that. I used to, like, you know, this armrest, my arms weren't up like that. It was just like I plopped them up, you know. And so this is a non-scale victory. I watched some videos the other night, and I scoot all the way over, and Chloe, my daughter, sat next to me, and I'm like, that's a trip. So that's a non-scale victory, you know. So you guys, you know, think about things in your life that are different and rejoice those things, and don't just rejoice the scale. Because the scale, it can be your friend one minute, it can be your enemy the next minute, and you just don't know what's going on inside your body. And so I love you guys. Keep your heads up. And I'm working on the videos. My wife had to work this weekend, the running videos. I'm working on them. We're going out of town on a little marriage retreat thing, just me and her, this weekend, so it won't be done this weekend, but I'll get them done. It's really as an exercise and a nutrition video is what's left in my running series. So I'll get them done. The product that I talked about last week, I am going to probably endorse it. I'm 99.9% sure now. I'm not going to tell you about it though yet, just because I want to talk to the owners of the company and kind of see how they want to handle the situation. Because I don't want to necessarily just market it for gastric bypass people, whatever. Like, you know, it's like, that's not my intention. And so I want to kind of see how they want to handle it, and who knows, maybe they'll try to give out some freebies or something like that. There's no guarantees of that. Please don't say that. So, but they, you know, they might want to do something, or who knows. So I'm going to see how it works out, and I'll go from there and let you guys know what it is then. So I promised them that I was going to give it 2 weeks, and so for integrity reasons, I got like 3 or 4 more days. So, which is really only like 2 or 3 workouts. So, love you guys. Talk to you later.